July numbers are officially out. An average home in the Greater Toronto Area is now selling for $50,000 less than it was a year ago. Freehold properties in the 905s continue to fall, but the condo market in the city of Toronto seems fairly stable. And the bond yields have been creeping up, which means the fixed mortgage rates have also been creeping up. So there's a lot to unpack today, but before I get started, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Durham. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto Area. Now, if you're watching this and you want to stay informed about the real estate market here in the Greater Toronto Area, I really appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm doing my very best to grow this channel. With that said, let's get started. So this official stats came from the Toronto Real Estate Board. This is for the month of July, okay? You got to keep in mind, this is the average of every single asset class across the board. So you look at this as a rule of thumb, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is what happened to your specific property. Now, I know the headlines will say home sales have slowed and July numbers are down year over year, but the July numbers barely moved. Okay, there's been about 6,000 home sales for the month of July, which is 0.9% lower than last year. So I would call this a flat number. The average price of a home is down $47,000 or 4.5% from the same time last year. But the trend that we're seeing for the last essentially 5 or 6 months is the new listings and active listings. Both of these numbers are down in double digits from the same time last year. But you got to remember, last summer, we saw record high new listings and record high active listings. Active listings in last July and August were the highest that we've seen ever recorded in the Toronto Real Estate Board. The average days in the market is roughly the same at 32 days compared to 30 days. Now, again, this is the average of every single asset class in the Greater Toronto Area, right? But when I dissected the numbers, I noticed that the semi-detaches in the city of Toronto have actually taken a hit. Average price of a semi-detached home in the city of Toronto is down almost 9% from the same time last year. But the condo prices in the city of Toronto is pretty much flat, right? Now, condos in the 905s have been going down and is continuing to drop, but it seems like the condo prices in the city of Toronto has been pretty much flat for the last 6 months. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is the bottom for condos in the city of Toronto by any means, but it does indicate that this may be like a start of a recovery, right? Maybe this is the start of something that, we may see in the foreseeable future prices to remain flat in the condo segment, but the fact that prices aren't dropping in the city of Toronto is good news for condo owners. Now let's talk about the Durham region. This is where I do a majority of my business. This is where I live, and I like to talk about the Durham region, so the Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, and Clarington. Now, unlike the city of Toronto, Durham region is doing something a little bit different, okay? Home sales are down 15% in the Durham region. So compared to the same time last year, number of home sales are down in double digits. The average price of a home in the Durham region last summer was around $885,000, right? This time around, it's about $835,000, which represents about a 6% drop. And year to date, home sales across all the cities in Durham and across all asset classes, home sales are down about 10% year to date compared to last year. And let me explain why this is happening, okay? For those of you who don't know, Government of Canada as well as a provincial government has said that the new homes, right? New homes, anybody who buys a new home don't have to pay HST. So essentially, government came in and removed HST from all new development for the next 12 months. So what happened is the developers started launching new projects. And Durham region has a lot of new projects that have just launched or launching or about to. And what happened is people who are in the resale market decided to go and buy brand new homes because the prices just made sense. Right now, I'm seeing advertisements from different builders about detached homes, semis, and townhouses, and these prices are extremely competitive. And a lot of times, these prices are better or cheaper than what's on the resale market. So people are thinking, why would I buy a home that's lived in and is older, instead I can just pay the same or a little bit less and buy a brand new home from a developer. And this is why number of home sales were down here in the Durham region for the month of July, right? It's not that there's less people buying homes here now. It's that less people are choosing to buy resale homes and more people are buying brand new construction. Now, when I say more people are buying brand new construction, this is a relative, okay? For the last 2.5 years or so, new homes have pretty much like were halted, right? Like builders weren't selling new properties. People weren't buying new homes because prices were too expensive. But now with HST removed, that could be savings anywhere from $70,000 to all the way to $105,000. Like now, brand new homes are very, very competitive. And speaking of the Durham region, Whitby actually saw the biggest drop in prices. I saw Whitby had the biggest drop in average and medium prices across all asset classes, right? An average about $100,000. And when I looked into why, it kind of made sense, right? There's a number of big builders that launched a lot of projects in Whitby. In Brooklyn, there's a couple of projects. I'm not going to name any, but if you want to know more about it, just send me a message and I'll let you know. But there's a number of reputable and big builders in North Whitby, in Brooklyn, and they've been launching projects left and right. And these prices are extremely, extremely attractive, to a point where I've been someone who's against new construction homes for a long time because I always said that the prices are super expensive. But now, these prices are kind of starting to make sense for buyers, right? With end users and investors. So anyways, Whitby did see the biggest drop in average and medium prices, but Pickering, Ajax, Oshawa, Clarington, Uxbridge, etc. are down more or less 5 to 7% depending on the asset class and the region. So yes, sellers have kind of been giving up on selling their homes, so there's less listings on the market now. But compared to last year, that is, right? But when you look at this, the market overall and over the last 10, 20 years, there's still a lot of homes for sale. It doesn't mean that sellers are disappearing, and demand isn't really back either. Demand is still fairly slow, seasonally speaking. The buyers and sellers are both very cautious. They're both waiting to see what is going to happen in the market. They're both waiting to see, who gives in first, essentially. With that said, that's it for today. I just want to give you a quick update about the market. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.